Women gets big. Let's call Graza. I was just kidding. They're so madly in love.
All right, I found my código. Thank you. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear that.
Yeah.
That's better. Okay. This will be short. It has been an honor to be associated with a crowd such as this, due mainly to the influence of my better half, Camilo. We have been together for the last 12 years, and our lives together have been that colorful, as you have witnessed in the movie that you have just seen. I am very proud to be Camilo's soulmate. We have shared together the fulfillment of life for continually serving the church to the glory of the Lord, for having served and continue serving other people in terms of their needs, for having traveled almost all over the globe, having appreciated the different beautiful and biblical sights the world can give that we can share to others, and for having shared together our dreams and pursuits for a better cause. Camilo is a man of wisdom, as he always leaned to the Lord for everything he does. During his retirement, he busies himself writing books. I take part in editing his writings. His book entitled Passport to Heavenly Eternal Life is under literary editing and soon to be published. And this is one that you should not miss to read. For the objective of the book is to help lost souls and gain the ultimate goal of life. I am proud to say that during his critical times, as he got sick with a sciatica that disabled him almost a year, followed by an emergency quadruple heart bypass, I have assumed as his private nurse. Thanks to the Lord that he survived this ordeal. We are presently retired at the Kenyan country, Santa Clarita, and hope and pray that he will live more longer years to continue his mission in helping people to the glory of the Lord. That's all for now. Continue the fun.
Thank you, Anne. That was a beautiful, beautiful speech. Okay, and now we'd like to call on Jazmine Graza to say a few words.
Hi. So, I just wanted to say a couple things about my Lolo because it's growing up, first let me just talk about what my dad said when he introduced me today. About calling me a coconut on that. Well, yeah, I understand I wasn't really raised as strongly with the culture, and I really feel like as I grew up and I became more integrated with Filipino culture and people my age who are Filipino, it really made me realize how important culture was. And I really feel like my Lolo was one of only a couple of influences that I had to Filipino culture growing up, and I don't think I ever really appreciated it until later. And it really, really means a lot to me that you are so adamant about keeping the culture alive. And I really mean that because, if I wasn't exposed to that at all, I probably wouldn't be doing like half the things that I do now for fun. Like I'm into Filipino martial arts and I dance hula. Not that that's Filipino, but a lot of Filipinos do hula. Anyways, I just wanted to say that growing up, I've really been able to appreciate just everything that my Lolo's done for our whole family, and I've really been able to appreciate how I am who I am because of him. I didn't even grow up like really close, living next to him or anything like that, but I just feel like growing up I've been able to see how influential he was on me without even knowing it. For example, we're both extremely tech savvy. We always have a camera on us, and we're always on Facebook. In fact, I teach social media for a living. Well, I run social media for a brand, and I teach it for a living. And this thing that I tell the people I teach a lot is, if my Lolo can do social media, you can do social media. And I always tell them this story that when I went to go visit Lolo in the hospital right after his triple bypass surgery, the first thing he said to me wasn't, "Oh, Jazzy, I love you, I haven't seen you." It was, "Hey, Jazzy, is that your computer? Can we go on Facebook?" And I'm not even kidding you. And he's so proud that, he knows how to use Facebook, and he helped all his friends on Facebook. And I think it's great. Another thing that I really feel like I got from him was the marketer's spirit. Everyone pick up those programs. That is quality marketing paper put into fruition. So other than that, I really feel like I've been able to understand the importance of family, and really what it comes down to is your legacy in life, and I really feel like he's really shown that and how to do that. We have such a huge family, and he just makes it important and notice that, like, he makes it known that we are a family, and he really likes taking pictures, even though we all don't like taking pictures a lot. Like, it really is invaluable, and it's a really great thing to look back on. So I'll just keep this short now and say happy birthday, and you really have influenced me a lot more than you might know. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to call on Brianna Graza. Oh, the three sisters.
Hi everyone, I'm Brianna, and this is Olivia and John, my sisters. Happy birthday, Grandpa. I want to thank you for coming to all my Grandparents' Day events at school, and it just meant a lot because as I grew up, they'd always have those events, and you'd always come to them and make an appearance, so thank you so much. And you really taught me how to value my family, so thank you so much.
Hi, Grandpa. I just wanted to first of all say happy 80th birthday. And like my sister said earlier, you always came to my grandparents' day at my elementary school, and you always played the games with me. And I remember one time afterwards, you took us to Max's in Glendale. And you kept taking a bunch of pictures. And then you took us to the Glendale Galleria, and you asked me what store was my favorite store, and I said Limited 2. And then you took me to Limited 2 and told me I can get whatever I wanted. And then I remember I really wanted this like my sleeve. It was one sleeve and then a tank top on the other side, and you told me I couldn't get it. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember that, because I really wanted it. Anyways, I just want to say, on behalf of all the cousins and my family, that we're really thankful for you, and we're thankful that you're still around, and we appreciate everything you do for us, and we appreciate that you always take pictures because it keeps the memories alive. So we love you. Thank you so much.
She kind of said everything. I always kind of said everything. I don't know how to top it off, but happy birthday, Grandpa. Like they said, you came to my grandparents' day too, because we all went to the same school, and you just never failed to not come, and it's just amazing because it just shows how much you care about all of us. And the fact that you take pictures a lot, you know, but the good thing about it is that it just keeps us with a bunch of memories, just to, you know throughout the years, like what we've done and like all the fun times that we've had with you. And it's just a blessing to have, you know, you in our life, and we thank you so much for everything. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Some very sweet testimonials back to back from Jazmine and the sisters here. And so it brings the evening to a very sentimental moment. You know, it almost makes you want to feel like calling Camilo Grandpa. Happy birthday, Grandpa. Okay, so perhaps we can coax a wonderful childhood story from child number 5 of the Graza family, Christine Cervero. Christine is actually composing her story right now. So we would like to skip her for the meantime, and we'll call Miss Faye Abad. And Faye Abad is still lost. She'll get here tomorrow. We will record her testimony. Okay, and now we'd like to call on Miss Tess Reyes. She goes, really?
Like I said, maybe I can call you Grandpa too. But I'm really honored to be a part of this celebration as everyone here, because I think we all have one thing in common, the love and respect that we have for Mr. Grace. And really knowing him is a very special person. I've known him for over 12 years when I was just starting in the insurance business. And really, he took me into his wings to mentor me. And I would say he's a very big part of me being, I think, one of the top producers in his group. It's because of his patience in teaching me, and also with the rest of the Sotianco group. And I always call him Mr. Grace because of his graciousness. He's always gracious in everything that we kind of like demand from him, like his attention. And he would always graciously offer you the help that you need, the tutorship. And from him, I also learned the meaning of loyalty in work and friendship. Because if you notice, I guess most of us here, not just the family, but the friends, I think he has known all of you for years and years, and has been always be close to him. So I really appreciate all those times that you've taught me and all the conversations that we have are always, I think every word or advice that you've given me always is a word of wisdom. And also the faith in the Lord, whenever you always remind us that everything that we have here, there's someone that we always have to thank, to say thank you to. And so, I wish you a very, very happy birthday. And Mr. Grace, I wish that we'll have more birthdays that we can celebrate with you. Thank you.
Okay, is Miss Faye Abad here? Okay, Miss Faye Abad, I know her. She's a contemporary of Camilo. So she's probably looking for her Thomas Brothers map. Although Camilo has actually moved on, he's using GPS now. He always brags about being digital. We should copyright that word. You actually invented that word, digital. Okay, and then we have Christine. Is Christine here? Okay, she's still finishing her story. Okay, now we'd like to call on a person who's actually well respected in the insurance industry. He's actually one of the well-known Filipino Americans in the insurance industry, Mr. R.C. Grindalo from San Diego, or Rancho Santa Fe.
Mr. Camilo, you're the best. On behalf of World Financial and my family, I wish you a happy birthday. And I don't know if, did you celebrate your 70th birthday here? Yeah, we have Kayla, he was 5 years old then, but she's not here right now. She's a teenager, but I have our 2 kids other than my wife, I guess, is with us. And I just want to say to everybody that Camilo is one of the best persons I've ever done business with, and also as a good friend. He's a great leader, and I expect for you to invite us again on your 90th birthday. Maybe me and my wife, just ask. Thank you so much, and have a great evening to everyone. And of course, I'd like to mention Mr. Sachanko, the institution of the Filipino American community in the insurance industry. Thank you.
And now I'd like to call Miss Myla De Leon. Anybody named Myla De Leon? Mila, maybe? Mila? Okay, we're gonna skip Myla. And now we'd like to call on a person who's not only what I mentioned earlier as Mr. Insurance, but he's also Mr. Mortgage. And he's also Mr. Taxation. He's a barrister from New York, actually, tax attorney. And he's also an executive producer. He's produced a lot of shows in the 80s. As a matter of fact, most of the insurance agents who were under him performed for him. And it was a few shows. He was actually the first person who, the first Asian actually who made it to the $1 Million Round Table. And on top of that, he was also the top of the table. That's what they call it in the insurance industry. It's limited to a few people who make at least $1 million a year for 5 consecutive years. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Eddie Sotianco.
Hallelujah! Thank you so much. Camilo and I have gone actually a long ways. When Camilo first came to the United States, I was the first person to meet him at the airport. At that time, my system is meeting people at the airport, and after that, I can almost like sell anything I want to sell them. And so Camilo was the first one. I met him at the airport. I was also responsible in finding a place for him to stay. I was also responsible in finding his first job and so forth. And we've been together now for about maybe, I would say 30-something years, 40 years since he came over. We have not really parted. There was only like a little parting ways, but that was just, we call it cariño, at that time. But anyway, the only thing I can say is that I would like to thank everybody here that are here tonight to actually, this is a milestone because Camilo reaching, 80 years old? It's almost impossible for everybody. He actually had already beaten what we call the mortality rate in the insurance industry. Mortality rate, you're normally supposed to live only like 70 something, but having reached 80 years old, I wish I can reach that soon. But for me, it might still take me another 20 years to reach 80. But anyway, with all the traumas and medical problems I had, I'm so thankful to the Lord for giving me my second life. I almost died August 3rd. It was one of those. I was very healthy until last year. Never been to the hospital. Don't have any illness. All my blood work are perfect. For some reason, I had a leak in my heart. See, the problem that I have is that I have a very good heart. And when you have a good heart, sometimes it leaks. That's the problem, So when it leaks, it went to my brain, and that small blood clot almost killed me. The only thing that saved me, I think, is the Lord up there. I think what he was telling me is that you still have a lot of things to do here. I cannot get you here right now. You still have things to do that you haven't really finished. So I was able to, my body was half paralyzed. I couldn't talk. That was August 3rd of last year. Fortunately, there was what we call, for those people, it might be good for you guys to know, there is what we call a TPA. For some reason, when that thing happens, they let my family sign they let him sign a piece of paper that says, he can die, I can be a vegetable, and I can remain like that forever. Okay, so my family said, is there any option? And my doctor said, there's no option. Either you sign this or we'll let him die naturally, or he can be vegetable forever. So my family, regretfully signed that, whatever you call that waiver, okay? They signed it, and for some reason, that day, it was like probably 12 noon when that thing happens, and so happened that it was during the Olympic time that my family was there, Edsel was there, my wife was there. When I was getting down the stairs, I did reach the stairway.